Today is NBA Draft Day. Exciting times for a lot of people, obviously. Amen and Asar Thompson, Bryce Griggs, all have an opportunity today for their dreams to become a reality.
The stakes are rising in a new series documenting the challenges faced by the next generation of basketball stars. One Shot Overtime Elite is now streaming on Prime Video. Billy had a chance to talk with one of the show's stars who has deep roots in our area.
Yeah, former Sonic Damian Wilkins started his career here in Seattle. He's now the general manager of Overtime Elite, helping young players reach their potential on and off the court. And I spoke with him. He told me all about it, but I had to talk with him about the possibility of the Sonics returning to Seattle. Damian, I've watched the show. It's fantastic and really enlightening as well. I wanted to start, though, by talking about your NBA career. You started your career here in Seattle, and you were with the Sonics during the fight to keep them here. We know how that turned out. It was a dark time in Seattle sports history.
I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't have anything to do with us leaving.
Oh, I know you didn't, but you were fighting hard on the court. But what was it like for you and your teammates playing here 2007, 2008 with that move to Oklahoma City looming?
Oh, it was great. I always said Seattle deserves a basketball team. It's a great city, a great sports town. I had a ton of fun there, and it was a great place to start my professional career.
And we've got to get the Sonics back, don't you think? We have the arena now. That was always the issue. You got to, right? I mean, do you see the Sonics coming back sometime soon? It's been almost 15 years.
I hope so. I know there's been talks about a team going to Seattle. I know there's been talks about teams going to Vegas. But Seattle deserves a team. The fans there deserve a team. And, you know, it was heartbreaking for me, you know, as someone who actually loved being there, for us to leave the way we did. You know, it's really disappointing. I was just in Seattle actually last week visiting a friend, and I miss it. It's a great place it was a great place for me to play basketball, for sure.
And hopefully we'll get them back soon. Let's talk about your current love, the Overtime Elite program. It's basically professional basketball grooming school. And in the show, you see how these players are recruited. They come to Atlanta. They get room, board, schooling, professional training. They play in their own elite basketball league. My question, how do you find these kids, and what do they get out of it?
Well, we have an amazing scouting and recruiting department. And, you know, we have, you know, contracted tons of people around the country, around the world to be our eyes and our ears in places that we can't be. You know, so we go out and work very hard to find diamonds in the rough, to find some of the top talent, and more importantly, to find guys who love the game of basketball and, you know, love personal and professional and athletic development.
And obviously the program is working. Amen and Asar Thompson both drafted in the top 5 in the NBA draft. My question, what about the kids who don't make it to the pros?
Well, we have 2 options here. You can come here and take the pro contract and forfeit your college eligibility, or you can take a scholarship option and keep your college options open. Leave here and go to college. You know, we root for them, we support them, and we try to prepare them to be the best that they can be during that path. And, you know, we don't promise our players and our athletes that they're going to play professional basketball because they come to Overtime Elite. What we do promise is that they're going to be prepared to win the game of life, which is a much difficult game than the game of basketball. And, you know, we try to tailor all of our all the things that we offer, you know, make it, you know, personalized as possible to help these guys to develop in ways that they won't get anywhere else.
These guys are ridiculously good, and the show is really interesting because you see the interpersonal dynamics of these kids. And as you know, a pro basketball locker room is unlike anything else. You have a room full of supremely talented alphas. They're all jockeying to establish their role, secure their position, and that's got to be one of the toughest things for some of these kids to learn, right?
It is, and that's what you find in our docuseries, One Shot. You know, it uncovers the devotion and resilience of these guys, the challenges that they face, the wins, the losses. You know, the work that our staff and our coaches do every day to help these guys be the best that they can be. You know, it's a human story, and even if you're not a sports fan or a basketball fan, I think you know, our story and this docuseries really will still resonate with you.
So my kid played AAU basketball, and a lot of parents think that their kid is going to play at the next level. Most don't, of course. What would you say to parents of aspiring athletes about the expectations they may have?
That's one of the biggest challenges. Our families and their expectations, and we get it. There's a natural biasness that they have. The expectations may be higher than reality, and we operate in honesty and truth. When we're sitting down talking to these players and we're recruiting them and bringing them in, when we're talking, having our coaches and parents meetings and, sharing with these parents the path, the development and how the progress, all those things. And, it's only 450 NBA players. That's it. And it's 60 new guys coming in every year. And of those 60 guys, probably 15 of them actually get a real shot and opportunity to play at that level, and the rest of them either don't make it or end up playing, in the G League or something like that, or going overseas. So I think helping them understand how competitive it is, how extremely difficult it is, and that there's other people in gyms all around the world working out, trying to knock on that same door. The more we educate parents and our players on the difficulties and the challenges and how unbelievably disciplined and determined that you have to be, I think they understand then, they have a better understanding of like what's my reality and what's not.
One Shot Elite is streaming right now on Prime Video, and I had a chance to watch the first 3-4 episodes, and it is really interesting. It's similar in some ways to the Western Hockey League, the Seattle Thunderbirds, Everett Silvertips. Yeah. It's that kind of a setup, but this is basketball, and as Damian says, I mean, it's a tough road to hoe for these players. It's
so fun to see. I haven't seen Damian in a long time, a former Sonic. It's so great to hear from these former players who loved this city. So, Bill, what's the latest on maybe getting an NBA team, the Sonics, back here in Seattle?
Yeah, a few months ago, I was poking into that. I was talking with Tim and Todd Lewicki. They run OVG, and Todd, of course, is the Kraken CEO. And they were intimately involved in getting that arena built. They built it for basketball, so the Sonics will come back. The question is when. Now they have a TV deal that's coming up 2024, 2025. So within the next 2 years, I would fully expect the Board of Governors to talk about expansion. There's more support now than there's ever been, and we have the arena now, and that was always the crux of the thing. So I think 2025 is the window opening for Seattle to get the Sonics back.
The locker room is there. It is ready to go.
It says Sonics locker room.
It does.
It's right there.
All right.